what's up? My name is Jeff Enrage, and I'm going to answer these 10 questions, hopefully as interestingly as possible. Okay, first horror movie I ever saw. I'm guessing it's got to be either, off the top of my head, Carrie. I remember that having an impact on me when her hand came out of the grave. Maybe Halloween. Not count. Oh, you know what? The Universal horror films, all the old, Dracula, Frankenstein, the Werewolf. When those were on like Saturday afternoons, things like that. Those had a big impact on me. The Universal horror films, I think. Okay, favorite decade of horror. I'm gonna go with the '80s, and that again, not necessarily that it's the best, but I think it's meaning having an impact on me because the '80s were when you can go to a video store, a video rental place, and you could rent a horror movie that was rated R or had no rating, or these like taboo films that we weren't supposed to see, and you could just take them home because we still couldn't get to theaters to see horror movies when we were kids. But during the '80s, for some reason, they would let us rent anything. So there's a whole generation of us who grew up going to video stores, looking at cool covers of horror movies or finding out about something, let's say Fangoria, and we could rent it. They never cared that we were underage. So during the '80s, that was the heyday of a bunch of us renting, I guess my generation, renting films that we weren't supposed to see, so to speak. So yeah, I guess the '80s. Okay, favorite director. Alfred Hitchcock. I also like Roman Polanski, but yeah, Hitchcock. He's because yeah, I love Rear Window. I love Psycho, Vertigo. Yeah, Hitchcock. Even though he's a little bit of a nutter. Suspense. Yeah, I guess if I'm saying I like Hitchcock, then I gotta say Suspense. VHS, DVD, or Blu-ray. So even though I was just saying how I grew up in the era of VHS where we were renting videotapes, I'm a sucker for extras and extra footage and director's cuts and all this alternative ending stuff. So Blu-ray, I like you find all the goodies and Easter eggs on Blu-ray. I guess Michael Myers, because again, that was when I was a kid. It left an impact on me. Mm. I think the Freddy Krueger in the first movie, before he started doing all those like silly one-liners, I like Freddy Krueger. Um, yeah, Freddy Krueger in the first movie. Yeah, maybe that. God, there's so many. I'm not gonna say Dawn of the Dead because honestly, it's not. And I know Night of the Living Dead is important, but you know what? I'm gonna go. I'm a fan of fast zombies. They scare me. The 28 Days Later films, even though it's more like a virus movie. Yeah, 28 Days Later, because it actually seems like something that could happen. Those two films, The Horde, like fast zombies, just I don't know. Favorite monster? Oh my gosh, that's pretty easy actually. But I don't have just one. I have a strong love for the Frankenstein monster. I wrote songs about him with my band Enrage. Cheap plug. Um, I love Godzilla, especially when he became really corny and became more of almost like a cartoon character for kids. King Kong. Um, I have a big framed picture of King Kong in my living room. I love King Kong. Um, I love werewolves. I love Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. But yeah, but I guess Frankenstein, Godzilla, King Kong, like my trifecta. And if they count the apes from Planet of the Apes. I love all of them. I'm obsessed with Planet of the Apes. So if they count, like General Ursus, awesome. Another monster I love too is Krampus. But not the movie, right? The movie version, but like the actual folklore. But if we get into folklore monsters, we could be here all day. Favorite artist? I'll go with my writers. Edgar Allan Poe and Shakespeare. I always considered Macbeth to be almost like a horror play. And why horror? That's, I guess, not to sound cheesy, but it's something I think we're all have that fight or flight instinct, and we want that fear, but knowing that we're in a safe environment, thinking what we would do, uh, taps into our, I don't know, inner demon. Maybe I'm not sure, but it's funny how some people just gravitate towards horror. I used to kind of keep it a secret because I didn't want to be too weird. I didn't want to seem like the weird guy into horror. But yeah, I don't want to be like that guy into horror, pro wrestling, that guy, kind of neckbeard guy. I don't want to be him, but I am him. Let's face it. Um, yeah, I love horror. Yeah, I love horror. I go to conventions, so I don't know. I think just something connects with certain people. And I also have a quick list I'm adding on. I have 4 movies, which I always say are like, I'm sorry, 3 movies, like the most horrifying non-horror movies. I always say these movies. I always try to bring them up. We need to talk about Kevin. These are like the movies that scare to me are scary that are necessary horror. We need to talk about Kevin, Compliance, especially because how true it is, and the movie Blindness. It scares the crap out of me, like legitimately, because it's like catching blindness like a disease, almost like an airborne thing, and the way people behave, it's fantastic. I just threw that in because I want to throw it in. But anyway, all right. Well, I hope you like my answers. I hope they're sufficient. So these are my 10 questions. And again, my name is Jeff Enrage from the band Enrage, and thanks a lot for having me included in this. Take it easy.